Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Why and our spoilers, Audra seeks a new backer, will Kane bring both money and romance? The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, lost her mojo. What is this? Having lost her back for Vibrante, she needs a new money source soon. But her personal life is in danger of collapsing due to her irresponsible and impulsive behavior. Victor Newman, Eric Braden, told Audra that she failed and their deal was off. She refused to accept that answer and has twice word-bombed Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, in front of Claire Newman, Haley Aaron. If Claire thinks Kyle is upset, she'll soon learn how Nate responds when he learns what she did in France and at society. He trusted Audra and is in a vulnerable state after losing his brother, which means that a separation or full break could happen soon. Kyle Abbott's enemy status deepening. Any thoughts Audra has about Kyle secretly wanting to be with her and not Claire are becoming more delusional with each passing daytime day. While Kyle naturally finds Audra to be very physically attractive, her mind is the opposite. Audra's behavior toward Kyle has been so craven that it's impossible to defend any of her actions. She openly pursued a man whom she fell for in the recent past and who she knows is committed to a woman who just lost her father. Kyle's mistake is remaining engaged with Audra. He can't check his ego or at least summon the strength to not fall for Audra's bait, making him her top enemy. Audra Charles overestimates herself. What makes Audra believe that she can succeed? Kyle does share an over-the-top ego with his former colleague from Newman Enterprises. However, she tops him because of her lack of true business experience. The constant complaining she's offered about Kyle benefiting from his family's prestige falls flat. It represents insecurity projected as jealousy. What is this? Audra would allow any family member she had to open doors, provide her with a job, or finances if she could. Kyle has benefited from the family he was born into. So have people the world over throughout all of daytime history. So, Audra compensates by trying to tear him down and therefore lowers herself. Kane Ashby suffers a major loss. The loss of Kane's father, Colin Atkinson, played by the recently deceased great actor Tristan Rogers, has impacted him deeply. He sees the pursuit of Genoa City, Wisconsin's legacy businesses, as fulfilling his father's dying wishes. So, knowing that he's at odds with his earthly family, Audra may see an opening. Her tie to Nate is primed to be broken, and she'll need another option. Add to the above Kane's need for allies and Audra projects as a fit. Both people could benefit from revisiting the pitch she made to him in France, with soapy circumstances changing and each character needing the other now. This site is a leading source for everything linked to The Young and the Restless. Check back regularly for YNR spoilers and news. What is this? YNR spoilers, Audra seeks a new backer, will Kane bring both money and romance? The Young and the Restless never shies away from delivering power-packed twists, and it seems the soap is gearing up for another round of intrigue, business warfare, and possible romance. This time, all eyes are on Audra Charles, who has become one of Genoa City's most calculating and ambitious figures. Audra is facing a pivotal moment in her storyline, and spoilers suggest she may be seeking out a surprising new ally in Kane Ashby. Not only could this unexpected alliance shift the power balance in town, but it might also open the door for romance that no one saw coming. As fans know, Audra is not a woman who settles for second place. She thrives on power, control, and aligning herself with the right people to secure her future. Kane, meanwhile, has been absent from the Genoa City canvas for a long time, and his return is already stirring speculation about what kind of role he'll play moving forward. Could these two characters collide in a storyline that brings both business and pleasure into their orbit? Audra Charles has been in the hot seat lately as pressure mounts on her professional and personal life. While she's been riding high on her connections with Tucker McCall and her position at Chancellor Winters, things aren't as stable as they appear. Victor Newman is always lurking, strategizing ways to dismantle those who stand in his way, and Audra has found herself tangled up in more than one risky deal. Her sharp instincts and determination have saved her before, but now she may need something more than quick thinking. She may need a new backer with financial strength and staying power. Spoilers tease that Audra is actively looking for someone with resources to prop her up as her current partnerships waver. This opens the door for someone like Kane, who has a history of getting involved in business power plays. Though Kane has often been seen as more of a romantic lead than a corporate mastermind, his ties to Chancellor Winters and his complicated past with Genoa City's power families give him credibility. Could his return be orchestrated to make him a serious contender for Audra's attention and schemes? The potential of Kane stepping into Audra's orbit is intriguing on multiple levels. For one, Kane has always had a knack for finding himself at the center of messy situations, often tied to both romance and business. His marriage to Lily was marked by love, betrayal, and heartbreak, and he has struggled to reinvent himself in the aftermath. Pairing him with Audra could offer him a chance to reassert himself in Genoa City while also creating delicious drama. Audra, with her bold and unapologetic demeanor, might see Kane as more than just a financial partner. She could recognize the emotional vulnerability beneath his polished exterior and use it to her advantage. For Kane, Audra could represent the thrill and danger he sometimes gravitates toward, even when it comes at a cost. Their chemistry could be explosive, mixing passion with ambition in a way that shakes up not just their lives but the entire corporate scene in Genoa City. What makes this pairing even more tantalizing is the ripple effect it could have on other characters. If Kane aligns with Audra, Lily will inevitably be pulled into the mix. Their history means that Lily will have strong opinions about Kane's choices, especially if she believes he's setting himself up for heartbreak or manipulation. This could reignite old tensions between the former spouses, adding layers of conflict as Lily continues navigating her own complicated dynamics with Daniel. Devon and Nate could also be impacted if Kane throws his hat into the business arena, especially if his backing of Audra creates rival factions within. Chancellor Winters. Then there's Victor Newman, who might view Kane's return as an opportunity to exploit another pawn on the chessboard. Victor thrives on disruption, and Kane's presence could be exactly the kind of variable that allows Victor to sow further chaos in his enemy's ranks. Audra's interest in Kane doesn't have to be purely strategic. Soap history shows us that power couples often rise from unlikely beginnings. From Nikki and Victor to Phyllis and Nick, Genoa City thrives on unexpected romantic alliances that change the game. A romance between Audra and Kane would be controversial and compelling, giving fans fresh drama while allowing both characters to grow in unexpected ways. For Audra, Kane could provide stability she secretly craves, even as she plots her next big move. For Kane, Audra could represent a second chance at passion and relevance in a town where he's often overshadowed by stronger personalities. Together, they could become a formidable force, if they manage to trust one another long enough to make it work. Of course, nothing in Genoa City comes without danger. Audra has a history of playing dangerous games, and Kane has been burned before by aligning with the wrong people. If these two join forces, it could just as easily blow up in spectacular fashion. Rivals like Tucker might not take kindly to Audra finding a new backer, and Victor's watchful eye means any misstep could lead to devastating consequences. The stakes are high, and both Audra and Kane will have to tread carefully if they want to turn this potential partnership into something lasting. Fans are already buzzing about the possibilities, with many speculating that Kane's return is not just about business but about shaking up the romantic landscape as well. Whether they end up as allies, lovers, or enemies, one thing is certain: Audra and Kane's story will be one of the most talked about arcs in Genoa City this year. The Young and the Restless thrives on fresh pairings and explosive drama, and this potential storyline checks all the boxes. Audra Charles seeking a new backer could change everything, especially if Kane Ashby steps into that role with both money and romance on the table. Their partnership could ignite fireworks across Genoa City, leaving fans glued to their screens as they watch the chaos unfold. With old wounds reopening, power struggles intensifying, and romance blooming in the most unexpected places, this is one storyline that promises to deliver non-stop twists. Whether Kane and Audra end up building an empire together or tearing each other apart, their journey is bound to keep viewers hooked. One thing's for sure, Genoa City won't be the same once these two collide. Y&R spoilers, Audra seeks a new backer, will Kane bring both money and romance? The stakes in Genoa City have never been higher, and once again the spotlight shifts toward Audra Charles, the bold businesswoman who has clawed her way into the center of Chancellor Winter's power struggles. For months now, fans have watched Audra navigate dangerous alliances, betrayals, and her relentless pursuit of influence, but spoilers tease that she's about to make her boldest move yet. Audra may be looking for a new backer, someone with both the financial means and emotional resilience to stand beside her as she goes head-to-head with Tucker McCall, Devin Hamilton, Nate Hastings, and even Victor Newman. That's where Kane Ashby enters the picture, and his return to Genoa City could prove to be a turning point not just for Audra but for multiple storylines across the canvas. The whispers about Audra needing a new backer began after cracks started showing in her professional foundation. Tucker McCall may have been a useful ally, but their relationship has been fraught with manipulation and self-interest. Tucker has a habit of turning on his partners when it suits him, and Audra knows better than to place all her bets on a man whose loyalty is conditional at best. Devin, once someone she hoped to sway, has shown no interest in being her puppet. Nate, for all his ambition, has proven to be a liability after the corporate wars with Victoria left him disillusioned. That leaves Audra in a precarious position. She is too ambitious to fade into the background, and too resourceful to let herself get pushed aside. So, naturally, she's looking for someone new, someone fresh, unentangled, and capable of bringing both resources and influence to the table. Enter Kane Ashby, a man with his own complicated history in Genoa City. For longtime fans, Kane's story is one of resilience, mistakes, and reinvention. From his complicated romance and marriage to Lily Winters, to his entanglements with Jill Abbott and Chancellor Industries, Kane has always been tied to power, even if he didn't always wield it effectively. His exit from the canvas left many fans wondering whether he'd ever get the redemption arc he deserved. Now, spoilers hint that his return could come at exactly the right time, with the perfect storyline to re-establish him as both a romantic lead and a corporate player. The potential partnership between Audra and Kane could shake Chancellor Winters to its very foundation. Imagine the ripple effect if Kane were to invest in Audra's vision, giving her the backing she needs to challenge Devin and Lily on equal footing. Audra is not above using personal connections to strengthen her business moves, and if romance blooms between her and Kane, it would only raise the stakes. Their alliance could ignite power struggles that pull in multiple families, the Ashbys, the Abbotts, the Newmans, and even the Winters family. Jill Abbott, in particular, would have strong feelings about Kane teaming up with Audra. Jill has been burned enough times by corporate climbers to know danger when she sees it, and she might try to stop Kane before he gets in too deep. But Kane is not the same man he once was. His time away could have hardened him, taught him to trust his instincts, and reminded him that sometimes risk is the only way forward. Audra, of course, thrives on risk. It's part of her allure and her danger. She's the kind of woman who can look at a crumbling empire and see opportunity. With Kane's financial strength and his ties to Chancellor Winters, she could easily position herself as a queen on the chessboard, ready to challenge Victor's kingship and Devin's steady hand. But would Kane really fall for Audra's charm, or would he see through her manipulations? That question could define their storyline. If Kane truly believes in Audra's vision, their partnership could become a modern-day power couple dynamic that rivals Victor and Nikki or Jack and Phyllis. If, however, he begins to doubt her sincerity, their alliance could implode in spectacular fashion. One of the juiciest aspects of this storyline is the inevitable reaction from Lily Winters. Lily has been through hell with Kane, and their past is littered with heartbreak, betrayal, and second chances that never quite worked. If Lily learns that Kane is aligning himself with Audra, she will see it as a betrayal on multiple levels. Not only could it threaten her position at Chancellor Winters, but it would also strike a personal chord, forcing her to relive old wounds. This could lead to explosive confrontations, with Lily calling out both Kane and Audra for their reckless choices. Fans who have longed for Lily to get more front-burner material will not be disappointed if this feud plays out, as it would give her fire, passion, and plenty of screen time to reclaim her place as a central character. Then there's Devon, who has always tried to balance family loyalty with business savvy. Devon would likely see Kane's return as a complication, especially if it empowers Audra. The Hamilton family has never been particularly trusting of Kane, and Devon could quickly become one of his fiercest opponents. Nate, too, could find himself drawn into the battle, particularly if Audra tries to use him as leverage. And let's not forget Victor Newman. The moment Victor sees Kane making moves in Genoa City, he'll be calculating how to exploit it. Victor might even encourage the partnership at first, only to later undermine it when it suits him. After all, Victor thrives when the people around him are in chaos. Romantically, Kane and Audra's potential pairing is both shocking and irresistible. Soap fans love unlikely couples, and this one has the makings of pure gold. Kane's charm and sensitivity mixed with Audra's fierceness and ambition could create a chemistry that burns up the screen. It would be a relationship of equals, at least on the surface, but underneath it all, Audra would likely be the one pulling the strings. Still, it's not impossible that she could genuinely fall for Kane. Audra may be ruthless, but she's also human, and Kane's stability could be the anchor she doesn't even know she needs. Their romance could evolve into something real, even if it begins as purely transactional. Of course, the soap gods rarely let love stories run smoothly, so expect betrayal, jealousy, and secrets to complicate their path. The fan reaction to this potential storyline is already buzzing. Some viewers see Kane's return as long overdue, while others are skeptical about pairing him with Audra. But that's exactly what makes it exciting. Controversial pairings drive ratings, spark debates, and keep the storyline fresh. Whether fans love it or hate it, they'll be talking about it, and that's the lifeblood of daytime drama. Audra and Kane's story has the potential to revitalize both characters, give Chancellor Winters a new direction, and reignite rivalries across Genoa City. If this storyline moves forward, expect fireworks in every corner of town. Lily versus Audra, Kane versus Devon, Jill versus everyone, and Victor pulling strings in the background. It's the kind of multi-layered drama The Young and the Restless does best. And at the center of it all will be Audra Charles, making bold moves and refusing to back down. Kane Ashby's return might be the wild card that changes everything, but one thing's for sure, once these two characters collide, nothing in Genoa City will ever be the same again. When Audra Charles overestimates herself. In Genoa City, ambition can be as dangerous as betrayal, and when it comes to Audra Charles, she has both qualities in spades. Since arriving on The Young and the Restless, Audra has carved out a reputation as a cunning manipulator who never lets opportunities slip through her fingers. But in her relentless climb to the top, Audra may have just taken one gamble too many. Fans have been buzzing that the confident power player is dangerously close to overestimating her ability to stay one step ahead, and in a city where secrets are currency, Audra might soon find herself broke. For months, Audra has been weaving herself into the most influential corners of Genoa City society. Whether she's aligning herself with powerful moguls, charming her way into bed with men who hold influence, or strategizing with women who underestimate her, Audra has always managed to slip through crises unscathed. But her latest schemes have left her with too many plates spinning, and cracks in her carefully curated mask are beginning to show. The irony of Audra's current predicament is that her downfall may be of her own making. From her entanglements with Tucker McCall to her cutthroat attempts to take control of Newman Media, Audra has positioned herself as a woman who refuses to settle for second best. She wants it all: the money, power, influence, and love, but in her determination to grab every prize in sight, she's alienating the very allies she needs to succeed. Recently, her involvement with Kyle Abbott has added layers of both opportunity and risk. At first, Audra viewed Kyle as little more than a pawn in her corporate chess game, a way to destabilize the Abbotts while keeping herself relevant in the orbit of Jabot and Newman Enterprises. But Kyle is no fool, and their dynamic has shifted from flirtation to a dangerous game of mistrust. Audra might think she has him wrapped around her finger, but the cracks in their partnership show that Kyle could easily turn the tables if she pushes him too far. Complicating matters further, Audra's association with Tucker has grown increasingly volatile. Tucker, always a master manipulator himself, has been quick to notice that Audra's hunger for power sometimes blinds her to the reality of her situation. Where Audra sees herself as Tucker's equal, he may see her as a useful but ultimately expendable tool. If she continues to push against his control, Audra risks losing both his support and the resources he brings to the table. Beyond her corporate machinations, Audra also faces the wrath of Genoa City's fiercest protectors. Nikki Newman has made no secret of her disdain for Audra, and the Newman matriarch is more than capable of dismantling anyone who threatens her family. If Audra underestimates Nikki's influence, she could find herself locked out of the very world she's been fighting to infiltrate. Likewise, Ashley Abbott, still nursing her own grudges against Tucker and wary of outsiders, could pose another roadblock to Audra's plans. The soap opera brilliance of Audra's character lies in her balance of charm and ruthlessness. She's smart enough to know what she wants and bold enough to go after it, but her Achilles heel is believing she can outwit everyone all the time. Viewers have seen time and time again how overconfidence leads to dramatic downfalls in Genoa City, from Victor Newman's overreaches to Phyllis Summers' miscalculations. Audra may be about to learn that lesson in the hardest way possible. What makes her storyline even more gripping is the question of romance. Will Audra's pursuit of love undermine her ambitions? Her complicated connection with Kyle has already blurred the lines between business and pleasure, and if she allows herself to be vulnerable in the wrong relationship, it could spell disaster. On the other hand, could Audra's heart be her ultimate redemption, saving her from the cold and calculating reputation she's built? For now, Audra continues to walk the tightrope of ambition. But with every new scheme, every new betrayal, and every new power play, she risks losing her balance. Overestimating herself may not just cost her a deal or a relationship, it could cost her everything she has fought for since setting foot in Genoa City. Fans are eager to see if Audra can recalibrate before it's too late, or if her overconfidence will lead to the kind of downfall that soaps are famous for. Will she rise like a phoenix once more, or will she crash and burn spectacularly, leaving rivals and former lovers standing?